So what is our internet setup like for full-time RVing? We've been on the road for about 3 weeks now, so I wanted to share what we did to prepare ahead of time, what we've done since then, and what we would do differently if we could do it all over again. So first of all, I did research by looking into what other full-time RVers do, and many of them recommended this relatively new service called mobilemusthave.com. So I went here and mobile and internet data. Now, first of all, I watched this video, which was extremely informative. He goes through the different terminology, all the different features you could get in a router, or how does cellular mobile internet even work, how do the data plans work, etc. So it was a very informative video, and I recommend watching it. Now, it's also good to realize that it is also a sales pitch. So he's going to bring you through all of the different products that they sell on their website, and by the end of it, you're going to be like, I want the ultimate road warrior package. It's going to be super awesome. And that makes sense because it's the best of the best, right? And a lot of full-time RVers who've been doing it for years actually have bought that because it's like the solution to all their problems. Now us, we didn't know whether we wanted to do full-time for a long time. So we wanted to start as simply as possible. So instead of getting the whole bundle with the router, the quad SIM router, and the roof-mounted antenna, and everything that the packages do, I decided to just get a router, first of all, just a dual SIM router. The one I ended up getting was just this, let's see, this one, PepWave Max, and it's a dual SIM router. Oh, see, here's another with advanced mode. So this is the one we got. Got it right here. Here we go. Ta-da! And the lights mean it's connected to the internet right now. We have two antennas for the Wi-Fi, like if we wanted to connect to public Wi-Fi or park Wi-Fi, whatever it is, and then two for the dual SIM cards. The SIM cards are back here that we have for internet. Those antennas, actually, they do work really well. Like when we're caravanning, someone's driving the RV and someone's following with the minivan, the kids are still connected to the internet in the minivan. Like the range is really good. Now, we never ever use the public Wi-Fi feature. Park internet, like RV park internet, is super slow, super congested, no good. Even public Wi-Fi, like if you park outside a Starbucks or anywhere else, is also going to have that problem usually. So we have only been using our cellular internet. So in other words, if I were to do that over again, I would have probably gotten this little guy, because it still has dual SIM, the two antennas for the dual SIM cards, but it just has one for the Wi-Fi, if you just, in case you want to use it, you know. Now, another thing we would have done differently is we started out with just one SIM card. And we got that through Mobile Must Have as well. They have a referral program. So you basically pay them to find a legitimate, grandfathered in, unlimited data plan through AT&T. They used to do Verizon, but they don't do that anymore. And at first I was like, wait, so I'm just gonna pay these guys to shop for me, basically? Like, and $350 to do this? Like, I can shop myself, right? But I did a little shopping, and it's really hard to sift through all these different websites that are offering these data plans and know which ones are legitimate, which ones are genuinely unlimited with no throttling, and which ones are like not through different carriers and you're just going to be deprioritized, or different things like that. Now, when I say unlimited data plan, it's very different when you're talking about hotspots. So most people have an unlimited data plan on their phone, right? and that's for browsing or streaming on your phone. But if you want to use your phone as a hotspot to connect other devices to the internet, that's probably not included in your unlimited data plan. And that's actually another thing that Nat and I did, was we switched our phone plan over to AT&T with 15 gigabytes of hotspot data. We don't use much data on our phones anyway, like a gigabyte each per month, so we don't need unlimited data on our phones. But we do want a backup hotspot option, so either Nat or I, in an emergency, can use our phones as a hotspot if we need to. We've got 15 gigs a month that we can use them for. And I have used it. I went to the van to have a meeting and do some work. And I don't remember why I did that, but I just needed to get out or something. But I used my phone as a hotspot in that situation, just in our minivan. But we did end up getting this referral plan through Mobile Must Have. You know, it's $350. And they say it's, plan for it in about 30 to 45 days. I think it took less than 3 weeks for us, actually. So that was a wonderful surprise, and it was perfect timing as well. So just, if you want to do that, just plan ahead. But it's a truly unlimited plan through AT&T that we have, and so far it's been working great. Now, one thing we ran into a problem like the first week on the road, and that was one of our destinations had like no AT&T service at all. It had like one bar that sometimes went down to 0. So right away we realized, okay, first of all, we need to check the service maps before we go to an area. Second of all, we need to go to that area and check that we have good internet before we settle there. And third of all, we could probably upgrade our internet situation here somehow to give us more options. So we had 2 different options for upgrading. One was to get a roof-mounted or any kind of signal booster, an antenna. A roof-mounted antenna is actually included in these packages, these bundles here, but you can buy them separately as well. So that could have boosted our signal. I don't know by how much. So if we went from like 0 to 1 bars to like 2 to 3 bars with that antenna, that would have been great, you know? But we decided to go with another option instead, and that was to get another SIM card through another carrier. Especially since we found the T-Mobile plan that gives you 100 gigabytes of hotspot data. That's a lot. If you shop around to different carriers, how much hotspot data you can get, 100 gigabytes is quite a bit for just $50 a month. And also, T-Mobile, it doesn't have as much cell phone coverage, but it actually has the most 5G coverage of any of the carriers. Like, you look at the map, the 5G map of T-Mobile versus AT&T or Verizon, and T-Mobile has the most 5G coverage. So T-Mobile seemed like a good backup SIM card. So we got a router. We got the referral plan for an unlimited data plan. And then we got a backup SIM card with T-Mobile. And we got data plans on our cell phones as an extra emergency backup. So that is our current internet setup. And it's actually been working really well. We haven't had any issues since that first week, but we have planned ahead more. Like, we do check the area we're going to see if we will have service. And it's possible that getting the antenna would solve that problem as well. So that's a possible upgrade for us if we continue doing the full-time thing. But it's been fast. It's been fast enough for our meetings or for streaming and all this stuff, and we have plenty of devices connected. Like, sometimes all our kids are streaming at the same time, and we're having a meeting, and I'm working on with my simulators and things. So yeah, the internet, it can handle a lot. The router can handle a lot. I hope this is helpful for anyone who's thinking about doing this. cellular internet is, I'm kind of a fan actually, because even at home, when we had our Xfinity at home, it would get congested at a certain time of day, and I would just have to stop working because the internet was so slow I can hardly do anything anyway. So I just take a break, say, okay, I'll come back to it later, see if it's working better. And that's at home. And for the most part, we have not experienced that here, especially with backups. Like, we don't have backups at home, but we have backups here, and we can also drive to a different place if we need to. So overall, this setup is working okay.